Hello, welcome back. I'm Jake Light, Gaming Lawyer at your service. We are playing once again Raid Ace Attorney. And we're gonna find out if we can convince the jurors. Perfectly. You know, I made mistakes, but this time I won't make mistakes. Okay, let's continue. Actually, I'm eating a fisherman right now. Ugh, my throat is a bit sore, but yeah, you know. For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted it himself, didn't he? If he said that woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why can only have been... It can only have been the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can't we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Your books. Yes, nice shop that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit. Okay. With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant that fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already. Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Ugh. Why did he have to run away like that? Sorry about it. I was had something to take care of. But yeah, time has passed too much. Sorry. Let's continue. And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo, there's no time for grumbling. We want to force the trial to continue. Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make jurors change their minds. Well, for them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination. Yes, my lord. Ooh. I just need to keep this trial going somehow. Whatever it takes. Come on, Ryonosuke, you can do it. The defense's rebuttal. It's then he. Excuse me, but aren't you? Yes, that's right. I was in a witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face, or the side of it anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. It was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. How? I don't remember. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge. Now, there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around. Police have been badgering me non-stop. If I could turn back the clock, Well, anyway, I don't know about the Hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I just might struggle to change this man's mind, given our awkward history. Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now. If he said that the woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim? You're right, that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green coat overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. I'm very racist. But let us not forget, madame, the defendant vehemently denies tagging the woman. Why, of course he does. He admits to stabbing her. His life is over. Man obviously a liver-faced coward. Honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you think you would have concocted something more credible? Oh, I really can say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare that man has already made the mission. He himself has stated there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious? No one else could possibly have committed this awful crime. Ugh. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple.
Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit.
Oh my, you're too kind, my lord. That went well for her. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. Oh yeah, I need to press this. But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh yes, like you drew on a map, you mean, what was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does it? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you want to get home as quickly as possible. Well, yes. Why is all this true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. Ugh, I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Calabash Road way, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. Reason why Sasaki-san might have taken the long way home. Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine if you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one.
So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. Whatever is the matter, young man?
You're the wife of Mr. Gary Depp, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume's room.
The master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid, you understand?
She's keeping up that charade. Ugh, this is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean.
Well, I was told that to mention it, not to mention it to anyone till the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received, the instructions were very clear. So I'm afraid I had no choice.
I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he?
Yes, yes, that's right. Although he's only been a little over a week now.
And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Doesn't Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who will commit a crime such as this?
Oh my goodness me, yes, he's just the sort.
What?
Spending all his time in that dark, dingy room, sporting that unscrupulous moustache.
What is with all these people against his moustache?
The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard him, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something.
Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him?
He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more.
Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I'd better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She's saying enough damning things already.
I really don't care. Can't we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing.
A man's life is on the line here, so this will take as long as it takes.
Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's.
Ah.
The likes of you will understand, but laborer like me can't afford to take the time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither to the wife and kids. Oh my God, English.
Oh, I see. That must be very hard.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. You have to chip labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn to till dusk it is.
So you were digging out the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just round the corner from where it all happened. By an old bookshop it was.
What? Another coincidence?
That's right. Mersham Street it was.
Wait, you're saying very important things now.
Mersham Street.
Not Briar Road. Mersham Street, huh? On the map, Miss Naruto, there are only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please.
What's the point in that? Can't we just get this business over with now?
Please, sir, it's important.
Just fine, I'll do it then.
Alright. Press. What's so bad about the bourbon bookshop?
Oh, sorry, fold it, you say? Fold what?
No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of tea, old tea. As I old routine, you say, same thing every day, including the day you're talking about.
At what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking up books in there all afternoon, and it would seem to have been just before 5 days I left. It's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked? Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry, now after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on ice and docked my head. It's always worse after the snows stop falling. It's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my night number was up.
Wait a minute, let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road.
That's right. I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely insignificant. Significant.
I'm sorry, extremely sick? No, I'm quite alright now.
It sends shiver down my spine to hear members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective. I agree, it's the irrelevance of what some of them are saying that sends a shiver down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume of anything. That's something. We must use that to our advantage, Miss Naruto. Cunningly. Yes, alright. Let's listen to the jurors again, carefully. If any of their assertions are at odds, I'll pit them mercilessly against each other. Yes, don't hold back. Pit them all against each other. Alright. So we have to find out which one is contradicting each other, alright? I think we're the... this is... If you say that one, green colors purified by be the victim. Will have gone around the houses on... But this is contradictory if... him would have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. Fishing how dreadful. Oh, the day it happened, I was digging up Mushroom Street from dawn till dusk. He was digging over here, meaning to say if he went by, if our client went by through the road, he will see, right? Bring myself Calabash. And this is Calabash Road. Sleep, and he's wearing a green coat. So I need to pit this with this. Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel? Well, juror number 2, juror number 6. My, what do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure of here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, we are all aware of all this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously. Can we really be sure of that, madam? My, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood. Oh my! My goodness, you mean... That's right, I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting
That the person in green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of a bench here with me today?
It is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Well, look, I do not remember how to do his voice. Well, look at that.
My goodness me.
Sorry, you need a pee. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means that the defendant must have taken the long routes back to his lodgings. If that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home.
Oh my!
You idiot, old man. If you haven't been so deaf as to be roaming around there with the boxes of hours ago.
And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat?
What do you say? What do you say to me? It's a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days. It's a crime to stay over on the ice. It's a crime to keep up with at least 1,000 well beautiful green overcoat, is it?
My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but... You like to change your leaning, I presume? I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
Thank you. And I would too. What? Is it a crime to change your mind, is it? Well... Not gonna lie, there's quite some precision engineering to able to shoot that fire right where it needs to be.
Oh, well done, Miss Nara. That was wonderful.
Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It strengthened our position somewhat.
Yes, and we will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume, we might be able to tip the balance completely.
Yes, that's exactly what we've got to do. Van Zix is looking to bring his trial to an early conclusion, so we have to prevent by whatever means we have at our disposal.
Thank you, Counsel. On with the examination. Summation examination, please.
Yes, my lord. I think the last one would be... I have to pit this with... this one, I guess. Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another.
At odds, Counsel. Explain yourself.
Please, don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
Hey, what? I just want to get it done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3?
Oh, me, sir? What do you mean?
Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Mushroom Street, making it impassable, which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Mushroom Street and down Briar Road.
Oh yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So, the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings.
Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose that must be right, eh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, but we see now that he had no choice.
Yes!
My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may.
Yeah, yes.
I don't think in all good conscience I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue if we can to get to the bottom of what really happened. What about you, sir?
Me?
Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in, that's what I say.
Well, that summation examination is concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The ayes 2, the noes 4. So the noes have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Objection.
Could it seem churlish of me to drink from her hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Vanzix? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Hey!
Whatever do you mean? I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth. Indeed, Saltwood juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir.
That's right. Took me the whole day and they paid me a measly twopence for it.
Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me, do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue now. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate figure. Would you not agree, my stoutwood friend?
Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no.
What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works?
I wouldn't dream of it. A waste of time. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway. We just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time.
The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town. Is that? Oh wait. Wait, just a moment.
Sorry about that. I had a call to make. Is that true? Is it? The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road. Ugh! Crush! In a single sentence. An old man? Old man! You can't talk! You say that at around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time? Oh, I can't say as I remember. You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that accused saw, but I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Order, Lord Van Zix, explain yourself. My lord? If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. Ugh. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What? What are you talking about? My lord, the prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses. Its next witnesses? Mr. Naruto, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yes, I remember, one of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecutor's next witness. Alright, no matter who Van Zix brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent, and I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over. Alright, okay, very different people. I was thinking it was those two. Apparently not. Alright, I guess we are out of time as well again. Sorry, apologies. But we have to stop here and we're going to continue next episode. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this episode as well. We're gonna see what these two witnesses are gonna say and how am I going to voice act them. It's gonna be fun, and oh my god, this game so far has a lot of characters. Very interesting. But in any case, take care, stay hopeful, but be critical, alright? Bye bye.